simple woman was humiliated in military training until her back tattoo made the commander salute. Wait, A. Second, tell us where you're watching from in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories like this. She was the quiet one. No friends, no swagger. Just a simple woman trying to prove herself at military training. But the moment she stepped onto the base, whispers started. The others mocked her too soft, too weak, too plain. Even the drill sergeant laughed in her face. Every step she took felt heavier with shame. But what no one knew was that beneath her uniform, etched into her skin, was a legacy far more potent than any rank. One glance at her tattoo would bring the entire camp to a standstill. Watch until the end. Amara had always been the kind of person no one expected much from. Born and raised in a small southern town, she worked at a diner and cared for her sick mother. Her dream wasn't loud, it was steady, to serve, to make her family proud. So when she enlisted in military training, she came in without connections, without confidence, without anyone to defend her. From the moment she arrived, it was clear she didn't fit the mold. Her gear looked older, her shoes were worn, and her posture was unsure. Some trainees snickered behind her back, others openly questioned how she even got accepted. She didn't respond. She just kept her head down, doing the work. Even when it hurt, but deep within, her hidden beneath layers of insecurity was a story inked in black across her back. And soon, that story would change everything. The harassment escalated. Quickly during drills, Amara was always the one accidentally left behind. In the mess hall, no one shared a table. Even during night exercises, whispers followed her like shadows. "Charity case," one said. "She'll never make it," muttered another. But the worst came from Sergeant Daniels. Gruff, imposing, and sharp-tongued, he singled her out daily. Her push-ups were too slow. Her uniform was too messy. Her silence was disrespectful. One morning, he forced her to do laps while the others watched, laughing at her. Still, Amara didn't break. She endured the blisters, the bruises, the humiliation. What they didn't know was that her resilience came from generations of strength. In the fourth week, they were ordered to complete the endurance gauntlet, a brutal 7-hour test of physical and mental will. Amara pushed through heat, exhaustion, and pain. Halfway through, she collapsed from dehydration. Daniels barked weak. "Strip that gear, you're done." As medics rushed in, her sweat-soaked uniform was peeled away from her. That's when it happened. A silence swept over the group. Tattooed across Amara's upper back was a symbol worn and faded, yet unmistakable. Beneath it, a name. One that made Daniels step back, because that wasn't just ink. That was the unit insignia of one of the most elite all-black military battalions. In American history, her grandfather's, man of such respect, Daniels had his picture in his own office. The air turned heavy. Daniels stood frozen, eyes locked on the tattoo. "Is that?" began, voice cracking. A nearby officer stepped forward and confirmed that the mark belonged to the 761st Tank Battalion. World War II legends. Amara's grandfather had been a war hero, awarded the Distinguished Service Cross. Daniels, speechless, removed his cap. Then, in front of everyone, he saluted her. Gasps echoed across the field. The same woman they mocked, laughed at, and tried to break, now stood taller than any of them. Not because of a title, but because of a legacy they couldn't touch. Amara's eyes didn't hold anger. They held fire. And everyone felt it. In that moment, ranks meant nothing. What mattered was truth and respect. Amara finished training with honors. Never saying a word about the past, she didn't need to. Her actions spoke louder than any insult ever thrown at her. The very people who once doubted her now stood behind her in formation. Silent and humbled. But her story isn't just about one woman. It's about every person who has been underestimated because of their race, gender, or background. It's about quiet strength and the fire that lives in those dismissed by society. Amara didn't demand respect. She earned it without a single word. And that tattoo? It wasn't just ink. It was a history, a pride, and a pain passed down through blood. So next time you judge someone by how they look or where they come from, remember Amara? Because some legacies aren't worn on the chest, they're carved on the back and carried in the soul. Which country and city are you watching from? Take care.